When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's group therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Hey there, Ben and Kelly. Got a situation with my boyfriend I need some help sorting through.
Okay.
So I go to area markets on Saturday mornings to sell various baked goods and honey. Mm-hmm. I typically bring in about $1,000 every weekend.
Nice.
It's a nice supplement to my income.
Sure.
Now, I have a boyfriend that is typically too busy to join me, so I was surprised when he was pleading with me to let him go with me last weekend. I was excited that he wanted to go, told him he could help me, and I'd cut him off a piece of the profits. Mm-hmm. I had a great day, made even more than usual. My boyfriend and I went out to eat after the market, then came home to chill. It wasn't until midweek that I even got to unpack my car and count the money. When I did, there was a lot less than I was expecting. I only had $700 on an average weekend. I usually clear at least $1,000. So when I matched the missing inventory to the profits, nothing made sense. So I asked my boyfriend if he knew where the missing money was. He told me that he took his cut out. I asked how much that was because we had yet discussed what his cut was going to be.
Oh.
He said $500.
Oh.
I told him that was way more than I planned on giving him. He smiled, said, "Don't worry. I used the money for your birthday present from me. Oh, for me. The money was already spent on a Luke Skywalker figurine. And his birthday is in August."
What?
Didn't say anything more, but but I can't get the bad taste out of my mouth on this. Can you help me sort out my feelings? Am I being crazy if I end a 16-month relationship over this?
Oh, wow.
He took $500 to buy himself a Luke Skywalker figurine from her.
First of all, are Luke Skywalker Star Wars figurines that much?
Well, apparently. It
Am
must
I-
be really rare. Maybe it's still in the packaging. I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
It's a super collector's item.
Man, bold move. And it almost sounds like he wanted to work because he had his eye on that before
Oh, it sounds like it.
the thing. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to
That's
work.
his goal.
I'm going to do some work. We're going to split the cost, and I'm going to buy myself this. It can be your birthday present.
A good
for me.
boyfriend, though, would have said, "Hey, babe, how much were you thinking of giving me?" Asking before you just take a large chunk like that out of her profits.
Yeah.
Like he knows she works hard for that.
Yeah, again, that's a very bold move. Like
Really bold.
Yeah, I'm a little taken aback by just the assumption that I think I did about $500 worth of work here.
Yeah, that is
That's
a
her,
lot.
That's her gig. Like you're like, dude, that's like you doing a job for your employer and then just deciding, I think I made this amount of money. I mean, that's not your decision to make.
It's not. It's your employer. In this
Yes.
case, it's your girlfriend. You should ask her. You should just be happy with whatever she wants to give you.
I mean, that's what I thought. I
You
don't
let her determine that, though. But you don't go shopping for your birthday, which is still many months away.
All right, 502-795-1997. Have you been in this situation and can shed some light on, I mean, is this a red flag of bigger things to come?
Well, he obviously has maybe a collecting hobby. He's either starting or
yeah.
she was unaware of how significant it is.
I know. She was unaware of how deep his love for Star Wars was, apparently.
Yeah.
By the way, Patrick texts in and says, well, that's a life-size Luke. I don't know, Patrick. Are
Could
you
be.
an aficionado on Star Wars collectibles? Do you know this?
I would hope for $500 it would be.
Man,
He should be like a Luke Skywalker butler in your house or something.
for 500
Like a robot, bring you stuff. Yeah, for $500, I'm going to expect some things other than it's just standing there.
All right.
Being Luke.
All right, 502-795-1997. We'll go ahead and take some of your comments, calls next. Group therapy is an interesting one. Rebecca's boyfriend of 16 months helped her sell some goods at the market recently. You know, some stuff like, honey and produce and things like that. Well, afterwards, she realized her profit didn't match what she had sold. Apparently, he decided, $500 was good. So he took $500 cut without asking, really, and bought himself an early birthday present.
From her.
from her.
A Luke Skywalker figurine. His birthday's not for several months.
I mean, for $500.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
It is.
The most problematic part of this, I think, is the fact that he just decided the amount and took it without asking.
Yeah, I mean,
regardless of what he did with it.
If that is your employer, if you work at McDonald's and you decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take some money out of the cash register because I feel like I did about $100 worth of work today.
That's my bonus.
You're fired.
Yes.
Like, you're fired.
Yeah, Terry said he stole from her. Kim said, I've been in a very similar situation, point blank. He took the money without asking. That is stealing. And her situation causes many triggers for me. If he thought that was okay, then there's probably other situations she doesn't know about.
Ooh. Okay, so have you been in this situation, Jasmine?
So I've been in this young lady's spot.
Okay.
Yeah, husband spent the rent on a collectible.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So, well, he was your husband at this point, though. Imagine if you two were just dating at this point. Like, what would you have done?
Bounce and pay me back.
Wow. Okay. So that would have been a deal breaker.
So the only reason you're still married is because you already got married.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Did you make him take it back? Can you take collectibles back? I don't think they typically accept returns on collectibles, right?
Yeah, you got to find another dealer. But it sounds to me like he had already found it, knew that the guy, and was making a deal, and said, this weekend I'll be at whatever, farmer's market, whatever.
I'll have the money.
I'll pay you, and I'll have the money. Yep, he had already made the deal. That's why he was begging to go.
Oh, gosh.
So what?
So what does she do with this? Does she break up with him?
Oh, I would. Bye.
Okay.
Question, what was the collectible, and do you still have it?
Yes, we still have the collectible.
What is it?
He-Man from the 80s.
Okay.
He-Man! Oh, my gosh. We had Castle Grayskull and He-Man and Tila and Skeletor and all the toys.
Jasmine, I will say that I was so envious of my friend Brent because he had Castle Grayskull. He had the vehicles. He had all of the Skeletor and all of the different figurines.
They were fun.
And I had none of it. And I'd always have to go over to Brent's house to play He-Man. But
a He-Man cost the rent? Yeah. Like it was as much as your rent. That is insane. Was it life size?
It was. Well, if you know, it was the Eternia playset in the box.
Oh, okay. All right. He was in the box. Yeah.
I know. We say okay like we know. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, all right.
No, I know that's a big deal in collector's world.
All right, well, Jasmine, hey, thank you for chiming in on this. I appreciate you sharing your experience because I think that'll probably help Rebecca along.
All right. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.
Oh, so many people, everybody minding the comments on Facebook. All of them are like, run, he stole from you. Chelsea's like, so he played cashier and cut himself 42% of the profits? Nah, homeboy stealing. Make him cancel the order immediately, demand the $500 back, pay him a fair hourly wage, and then call it quits. He's a child.
Yeah, I think you got to ask for that money back.
But I don't think he can get it back. I don't think that they're going to be able to return Luke Skywalker.
No, let your boyfriend keep Luke and have him pay you the $500 it costs to get that. But that is a tough conversation to have.
Yeah, it is.
And that's why I think everybody's like, ooh, this is a red flag, and this is probably not a good thing. I mean, look, 16 months. If this is the only red flag that has come up, maybe you can, work on it and let it slide. But if there have been like little things that you've just kind of been pushing under the rug, maybe this is a big old red flag and glowing beacon to say, hey, jump out of this.
Look at all of the red flags in the Facebook comments. Ginger was like, that was a calculated, manipulative, and disrespectful move on his end. Regardless of what he planned to purchase, he never should have taken money from the earnings without discussing it with you.
That's my biggest thing. Like, who does that?
He hatched a plan. Like, he knew of this figure. He knew how much money he needed. That's why he decided, I'm going to help you, babe. That's because he had this plan hatched already that he was going to just take that money.
Yeah.
That was how he was going to get the funds. And he did not clue you into that at all.
I mean,
he used you. That's not a good look, and it doesn't bode well for the future of the relationship.
Is this like a back alley deal behind the market where he's like, hey, I got the money now. You got the Luke Skywalker figurine.
Saturday,
I got the Luke Skywalker.
I'm going to have, you got the thing?
I got the Luke Skywalker figurine. Let me see it.
Saturday.
Is it in the box? It's in the box. Trust me. Let me take a look at it. Are there smudges on it? Listen, I want $700 for it. Listen, I only got $5. Can you take $5?
All right, but just this one time.
Oh my gosh.
That's probably how it went down. But yeah, like overwhelmingly, everyone is like this whole situation.
There are a few people that are like, hey,
sketchy.
just talk to him about it. And communication, talk to him about it. Maybe you don't need to literally throw the axe on your 16-month relationship for this.
The problem is it was calculated and pre-planned.
Well, I know. I'm just saying there are other people that are just like, just talk to him first. But I'm kind of in your column and everybody else's column where I'm like, this is a huge red flag and I would bounce.
Yeah, I don't. This is a huge violation of your trust. Mm-hmm. The whole thing was like behind her back. It just doesn't feel right at all. Like, right. No. I mean, the next thing, it's going to be like our caller. It's going to be in the situation of like he's going to be sacrificing rent to go buy things without her knowing. This
is where I want this to go now, because I think we're all agreeing that, look, Rebecca, this is probably the swan song. That was probably the last thing that you and your boyfriend should be doing. Maybe you need to go ahead and start parting ways with your boyfriend there. He was an employee of yours. He stole from you. That's grounds for termination, right? But here's where I want to go with this. What was the most expensive thing you bought behind your partner's back?
OMG.
And I don't want anything like dirty and illegal, but I want like Castle Grayskull rent money type of stories.
Well, Patrick's
right?
brother paid $1,000 for a life-size Darth Vader. So the Star Wars fans are intense.
All right. So, I want to hear those stories next. We'll take those calls and those stories. The most expensive thing you bought without your partner knowing. 502-795-1997. Those stories on the way.